Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Money Manziel MMA production. What I've got for you guys today is not a fight recap because I feel like every major YouTuber you would ever want to see do a card recap has already done it. So I'm not here to bore anybody. What I'm bringing you today, we are getting the next matchups for each member of the main card. So we have a matchup for Merab and a matchup for Sean O'Malley, basically following that same formula throughout the main card. Winner and loser, who they're fighting next. Some are serious, some are kind of things that I want, and you'll know what I mean by the other portion of that. So let's get right into it. Merab Dvalishvili had a great win Saturday night. He was dominant the entire time. He pieced up Sean on the feet. He took him down when he wanted to. I honestly think he didn't push that hard of a pace. He just kind of wanted to strike with Sean and make him scared. So next up from Rob, it's pretty obvious. Dana White said in the post-fight press conference, Corey Nerdhagen. Corey Sandhagen is, he finished Figgy in Iowa. I don't really believe he should be getting the next title shot, but if Dana thinks he's going to get it, then he's going to get it. That's just how the business works. So, yeah, Corey's going to get the next title shot. I'll be honest with you guys. He's not going to win. Umar took him down and controlled him in their fight. I just think that Merab is too good for someone without serious finishing potential to beat him. And there's going to be the, Sandhagen by murder, guys. Look at what he did to Frankie Edgar, man. People forget. But he's not capable of doing that to Merab. I promise you, we cannot finish a guy like Merab. He doesn't have the power to do it. I don't know who does. Maybe like Marcus McGee if he beats Petr Yan. But Corey Sandhagen and Merab is the next fight you're getting at bantamweight. It'll be fun. Probably do that in San Antonio in October. If not, it'll be pretty fun on the MSG card. So we'll see what happens there, but that is the matchup for Merab. Next up, the loser of the main event of UFC 316, Sean Sugar Show O'Malley. It was not a good performance. It was exactly what everyone thought would happen. It turns out quitting gooning is not the best base for MMA. Fellas, if you're a fighter out there, do not quit stroking. Do not quit stroking. That doesn't help you. You got to keep smoking weed. You got to keep Jaying the peen. And, at the end of the day, I think Sean O'Malley's next fight's going to be at featherweight. I think he's a lot of trouble making 35. And if he doesn't see a path to the title, why not give him Brian Ortega at featherweight? I think this fight is cinema. I know people are going to say, what about like a top 3 guy? Here's the thing. The top 3 at featherweight are booked or have potential bookings already. And the reality is, Brian Ortega sells better than any other guy in top 10 because we know that he's going to make it fun. It's a chance for Sean O'Malley to put on a masterclass versus a guy that has no striking defense, and Ortega has a path to victory. If he gets O'Malley down, he can submit anybody. So I think you put this on the main card of a pay-per-view. Probably in like January would be my guess for when this happens. I'm sure that Sean's going to take some time off. But I don't think he needs to bulk. I think he comes in heavy as is. So 145 makes a lot of sense. If he beats Ortega, I think he's one win away from a title shot. So I think Ortega and O'Malley is a big fight on a pay-per-view. Could be a co-main event, 5 rounds if you wanted to make it. I just don't think 35 makes sense for him anymore, especially if he has no path to the title. How motivated is he going to be to cut that weight? I think it's pretty unlikely. Next up, Kayla Harrison. This is a very accurate description of what Kayla Harrison looked like in there. Juice to the gills on a crazy amount of PEDs. I don't care what a drug test says. But she was dominant, won every second of the fight. Would have liked to have seen how it would have played out if it got to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, but we didn't see it, and this fight's obvious. Amanda Nunes. She said she's coming out of retirement for a fight with Kayla Harrison. I think it's a massive fight. It's the biggest women's fight you can make right now. Whoever wins, I say we shut down the 135 division. No one cares about bantamweight women's MMA. The top 5 are all cans. They all suck at fighting. Juliana Pena was the worst champion of all time, and she was the champion there, and she beat girls. She beat Raquel Pennington. It was arguable. I thought Rocky won the fight, but it is what it is. Juliana Pena being a champion is a shame for the 135-pound division because she sucks at fighting. She does nothing good. Kayla Harrison beat her and didn't prove that she's that good. She just proved that Juliana Pena is that bad. Amanda Nunes is 37. She is the greatest female fighter of all time, and it's good that she's coming back. But if she is able to take a 2 year layoff, I think Bedtime said this earlier today. But if she can take a 2 year layoff and at 37 years old beat the current champion at 135, they need to shut down a division. Because it's pointless to have a division of a bunch of cans where there's no evolution of the sport. No one cares about 135 except for Norma Dumont, and there's a reason everyone cares about Norma Dumont. It's very different from a skill thing. Um, so I think whoever wins, both should retire. Both should retire, and we move on with our lives. I think that's what happens at 135. Juliana Pena. Listen, Juliana Pena. Yeah, what's the question? Yeah, Juliana Pena's learning how to make McDoubles. She's learning how to make Big Macs in the cookout line. Um, it's a shame for Juliana Pena, but she's got to retire, dog. There's nothing for her at 135 unless she can cut to 25, and I doubt she can do that. I don't care about Juliana Pena. I don't think anybody does. So why are we even entertaining any fight with Juliana Pena anymore? She got an undeserved title shot in October after losing in one of the most dominant title defenses of all time against Amanda Nunes. I don't care to see her fight anybody. If Juliana Pena took another 2 year layoff, my life would be totally fine. If she took a 20-year layoff, I would go about my life totally normal. So I say we get rid of Juliana Pena, send her to McDonald's, send her to Burger King, Steak and Shake. You could send her a lot of different places. I'm sure she'll make a good burger. And, best of luck to her, though. Joe Pyfer. This is a guy, he turned off the body cam in the first round, and he put a beating on Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum is a fat blob, so he was able to, survive a flush head kick after being dropped twice. I have no clue how that's possible. But it was a good performance from Joe. I just think he kind of got a little concerned that he couldn't finish him, so he took his foot off the gas late second round and in the third round. It was a good win, not a fraud check. I mean, he won the fight, so I think we give him a boost, Magomedov. You do this co-main event of a crowded fight night, maybe a prelim on a pay-per-view, or I wouldn't want to see this as an opener for a pay-per-view, I'll be honest with you. But Abus is ranked, which is criminal. It shows how terrible the middleweight division is currently that Abus Magomedov is ranked after being finished in 2 rounds by Sean Strickland. Joe Pyfer is going to turn off that body cam. I think Abus looks foreign enough where Joe Pyfer will go to work. You just have to look dark enough in your skin complexion, and Joe Pyfer will be willing to turn that body cam off, and he will put that right hand on your chin, and it's going to be a problem when he does that. So I think you make this matchup next, gets Joe Pyfer into the rankings, and yeah, I think he knocks Abus out cold, to be honest with you. So I like this matchup. It'll be interesting. America versus Germany. Next up, Kelvin the Blob Gastelum. Look at this physique, man. This is not the physique of an athlete. Again, I've said this before. Kelvin Gastelum looks like Mexican Barney. He just looks a little oversized, and he's just fat. He's got titties. Like, he's not even, it's not even like part of him as muscle. He's got a little bit of like a vein going in the left bicep, at least. That's something. The shoulders aren't bad. He could lose another 30 pounds. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he could make 155 at 5'9". But he needs, his next fight's against a diet. His next fight is going to be against a diet, and it's going to be against diabetes, because this guy needs to cut to 170. If Kelvin Gastelum cares about his career at all, his next fight will be at welterweight. He almost went the distance with Sean Brady at welterweight, which wasn't bad in hindsight, and it was a kind of a weird turnaround for him. So I think 170 is the move. In all seriousness, if his next fight is at 170, I'm going to give you guys a little nasty hardcore. This is a hardcore pick by me. Who else is picking Sam Patterson versus Kelvin Gastelum? Not even ranked. Pulled that off the top of my head. Sam Patterson, nasty KO and submission the fight before that at welterweight. He's on a run. If Gastelum can't beat Sam Patterson, who I still think is beatable at 170, I don't care about a KO over Danny Barlow. Danny Barlow's incredibly overrated. If Gastelum can beat him, we inject him into the rankings at like 15 or 14 at welterweight, and we see if he can make a run. Maybe give the kid Jeff Neal after that, Otherwise, if Kelvin Gastelum's at 185, get ready to learn Apex prelims, buddy, because that's what you've got. Next up, terrorist to the sport, Mario Bautista. He looks like he's 75 years old. We still haven't forgot the Jose Aldo performance, buddy, but good win for him. He was active. Patchy Mix was a punching bag the entire fight. Didn't throw back, didn't grapple. The guy's an all-American wrestler and didn't grapple, so shocking IQ from Patchy Mix, but it is what it is. Good win for Mario Bautista. I like to see Rob Font next for Mario Bautista. Rob Font continues to fight back in the rankings. Maybe he wouldn't accept this, but I feel like Bautista's going to be like one rank below him, so maybe you promise Font a top 5 guy if he beats Bautista. Font's also like 38, so at this point, he's got to kind of accept what his role is, even if he's kind of barely beating these prospects. I think Mario Bautista wins this fight, but Font can box the head off of people, so it is an interesting matchup. I could see Bautista grappling him and taking him down. I'd like to see this on a fight night, maybe prelims of a pay-per-view or some terrible pay-per-view in like Canada or like London or something. Maybe you do this fight. So that's what's next for Mario Bautista. Patchy Mix. You weren't escaping me tonight, buddy. Patchy Mix, human punching bag, all-American grappler, was finishing guys left and right in PFL, in Bellator. You know, you had the worst people you know on Twitter, on Instagram. Man, you don't know about Patchy Mix, dude. Look at what he did to Rafael Stotts. Knocked him out. Submitted Magomedov. You know, the worst people you know were telling you that Patchy Mix was a top 5 bantamweight in the world. We found out he's not top 20. Patchy Mix sucks. I don't know what to say other than that. He's fighting Adrian Yanez next. You know, at least Yanez is not a good grappler, so Mix can maybe get a win. If Patchy Mix loses to Adrian Yanez, Patchy Mix and Juliana Pena are genuinely going to be Braun and D. Wade in that McDonald's line. They're chefing up the milkshakes. They're making you the McFlurry. Patchy Mix and Juliana Pena, dynamic duo at Burger King, at Taco Bell. They're doing a lot for the company. So, Patchy Mix, shout out to you. I think they are probably going to rebook Marlon Vera versus Bautista, and then maybe you do like Mix versus some random guy, man. I just don't care about Patchy Mix if that's the way he fights. So, Mix versus Yanez, at least it's an interesting name value fight. Final fight on the pay-per-view, and the last of the 2 guys that we're going to be doing in this video, Kevin Holland. You can never bet on a Kevin Holland fight because you don't know what you're getting with Kevin Holland. Personally, I didn't bet on it. There's no way I was ever going to bet on this fight. He just doesn't care half the time, but if he is starting to care, like he is at 170, then I say we give this guy a good opponent. Kevin Holland versus Colby Covington. He called out Colby Covington in the post-fight interview. Colby would take this fight because he thinks it's winnable, and he's a bum. Colby's 1 loss away from retirement, so I think he thinks this is a safe matchup for him. Kevin Holland, it's very winnable. I think he beats Colby. I think he puts him out. And you'll talk shit to him the whole time. It'll be a fun build-up. You do this on a pay-per-view. You do this in the featured fight of a pay-per-view. I don't care. That's a fun fight. You could have done this in Chicago at 319 if you want in August. I think that'll be a banger. Or you go San Antonio with it. Maybe you wait until November. I doubt Holland wants to wait that long, though. He's an active guy. And Colby needs to defend his ranking. So I think this matchup makes sense. He's probably not taking Kevin Holland to the 7th layer of hair, but you never know. It only hardcores get the reference. Final matchup that we're discussing, Vicente Luque. Guys, Vicente Luque is washed. I hate to be the guy to say it. I know he's 33 years old, but the brain bleed after the Jeff Neal fight, the quitting against Joaquin Buckley, even the weird performance versus RDA. You know, he kind of fluked. Listen, the kid fluked Temba Grimbo. If you put Temba in there, that's a real marauder. He's gonna push through, and he's gonna lay and prey on Vicente Luque to a decision. The kid's really a blockhead. He's a marauder. He's gonna throw big meaty fucking takedowns and not threaten to finish anyone at all. That's But besides the Temba Grimbo rant, Vicente Luque, if he's washed, we need to accept that he's washed, and we need to give him Gilbert Burns. Kid, how do you not do Gilbert Burns versus Vicente Luque? Yeah, what's the question? Yeah, we're doing Gilbert Burns and Vicente Luque in the Apex. That's your next fight night main event, kid. Gilbert Burns, 40 years old. Vicente Luque, washed. I'm liking this matchup a lot. It's winnable for both guys, to be honest with you. Just be kind of a fun unk fest, to be honest with you. Um, I think it'd be cool, man. At least give these guys fun fights. If they're going to be old and bad at fighting, then you might as well give them fights where they have some sort of motivation to try and train. So if it's the end of the road for those two, I say we just do loser retires, winner retires. And I think we call it a day on this fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for the every matchup to make after UFC 316 card and the video itself. I appreciate all of you that watch these videos. If there's any of you, on occasion, it means a lot. If you're coming from the TikTok, I love you deeply. If you're coming from the YouTube Shorts, I also love you deeply. And if you just found this video because you were bored and you wanted to watch a UFC video, then I appreciate you too. So, thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.